Good morning and welcome to the fourth hour of the Greg Belfrage Show. It is really great to be with you this morning. Hope you were able to hear that interview that we did with Chris Larson on the program this morning, talking about reasons to vote no. He is Vote No in November is the name of the group, and Chris is a member of. And they are encouraging folks in state to vote no on 4 particular issues. And we talked about that on the program this morning. And there's a lot that we're going to be voting on the South Dakota ballot. There are 4 constitutional amendments. This is to the state constitution. So 4 of those, 2 initiated measures, a referred law, and Chris went through a lot of it this morning. It was a really great interview with and I say that it was because of Chris, not because of me. I thought he really brought a lot to the table this morning. So hope you were able to catch that. Let's take a look at what's going on this morning. There is, I want to share this story. This is a news anchor in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I'm not going to say what happened. I want to get down to his video. Here's the video. You take a listen to him.
This is so unlike me because I'm usually a vote guy. I'd like to see 100% voter turnout, whether it's for your local sheriff or president of the United States.
Totally agree. Get out.
If your hatred for Donald Trump is so strong, it's kind of a sickness, by the way, but if it's so strong that you're planning to go in that voting booth and vote for Kamala Harris, do you listen to her? Do you know anything about her? Anyway, do yourself, do the country, do the world a favor, and just sit it out. Stay home. Don't vote. This has been a public service announcement.
Well, he got fired as a result of that for making that comment. He got fired for that from the station that he works for in Biloxi. So it's pretty crazy. All right, let's see what else I got for you. Jay, I don't know if I can help you. He's saying he's looking for more information about Medicare and the H amendment. What do you need to know on that amendment H? What it would do is basically it would destroy the party system in our state. Amendment H. It would destroy the party system. So you would have no Democrat primary. Now, Democrats changed their primary in South Dakota a few years ago so that they opened it up to independents who can vote in the Democrat primary. But it would destroy the Republican primary. And South Dakota is overwhelmingly a Republican state. I talked about this morning. In fact, near the end of the program this morning, I shared the news release that I'd received. 54 state lawmakers, Republicans, who are saying vote no on Amendment H. It would destroy the Republican Party. And I've talked to independents who have said, I'm voting against Amendment H. I don't like what it would do to the political system. So why you're uncertain on Amendment H, I think you're going to have to be a little more clear in terms of what difficulties you're having. But that to me is just clear as day. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to be voting against literally everything against the Medicare that you mentioned. That's the one thing I'm voting in favor of. Everything else I'm voting no coming up this November. All right, let's see what else we got out there this morning. Jeannie, good morning to you as well. The Joe Rogan and Kamala Harris. There was an issue, and you heard about this. I talked about this morning during the show. There was an issue with searching for the episode on YouTube. So Joe Rogan shared it again, and he said Here's the full podcast with Trump. And then he said, also, for the record, the Harris campaign has not passed on doing the podcast. They offered a date for Tuesday, but I would have to travel to her, and they only wanted to do an hour. I strongly feel the best way to do it is to do his show in Austin, and then it continues. And I looked at the entire post. There's really not, that's really the heart of it. But Joe Rogan is saying that Kamala Harris has not passed up doing his podcast. They wants to do it Tuesday. In other words, what? I don't know. Yeah, he posted this yesterday, so I don't know if he's talking about today or this coming Tuesday. I would think that would be too late. So he must be talking about today as to whether or not, but that story has just been out there because largely because of the Trump interview, which I thought was. How many of you watched that Trump interview with Joe Rogan? 3-hour interview. Did you watch it? I just thought it was fascinating. Okay, this is a piece from Axios. The MAGA world's hyper-confidence that Trump is going to win the election. So this is, and you're not hearing that from me. Excuse me. You're not hearing me say Trump is going to win. I'm not, I learned a long time ago. It's just do not call elections. That is just not the yeah, I was burned more than once. And so I don't call elections, but Trump's inner circle saying we've never had data that looks this good. So Republicans are projecting an image of a landslide. I don't know as to whether or not that's the case. Here's the thing, though. It's not just Republicans who believe this. Let me share this story with you as well. Oh, Steve is saying in regard to that Joe Rogan Trump interview, I just searched for the Trump interview. It's showing up now at the top of the page. Yeah. In regard to Amendment H, Edgy said, both parties oppose H. And while I typically think anything that all politicians oppose is worth a look, in this case, H seems contrary to what the people of South Dakota want. That's what I was talking about this morning with Chris Larson. And he was talking about, you hear me say all the time, folks on Main Street. How many times have you heard me say that phrase? Folks on Main Street, the Main Street view, the look from Main Street. And that's what Chris has been doing. He's been out talking to folks like you and me. So he's been out there and he's visiting with folks, and there is just a lot of interest statewide, South Dakota statewide, in this election this year. And it's on these ballot issues and ballot amendments. And in particularly, H is the one that's got a number of people fired up. G is the abortion issue in the state. So there are some really strong feelings on certainly both of those. But what Amendment H would do is lay waste to the Republican Party. And Edgy, I think where I disagree with you a little bit is, Republicans are saying, elected Republicans are saying it. They oppose Amendment H. I'm a Main Street Republican, and I'm telling you, this is going to be bad. I'm not running for any office. I don't care if you love me or hate me as long as you listen tomorrow, right? So I'm not running for any office. I have absolutely no plans to run for office. That's not, there was a time where I thought I wanted to do that. No, absolutely not. That's not my calling. So, I think it's a lot more than just statewide elected office holders who are looking at Amendment H and going, okay, this would be bad. This top two voting system, Basically what it does is it puts everybody on the list. So if you're an independent and you're running, your chances then of actually getting any kind of following is non-existent. This would decimate independents. There are just a lot. So it's not just that Republicans don't like it. Again, you've got Democrats who are opposing this as well. So, I mean, the hatred of Amendment H is pretty overwhelming. I mean, and it's and the ads piss me off. There are so many of these political ads that I hear on this station right now, and I'm just, oh man, I'm clenching my teeth. I'm just going crazy. Now, I want to come back to this story. I had shared the Axios story regarding Trump and the level, the level of Republicans right now, and they're feeling a Trump win and so on. So let's take a look at the other side. This is a tweet. If you know the Young Turks, who are liberals, and one of the Young Turks saying, "I've never seen so many contradictory numbers in a race. So we all have to Luke Skywalker this thing and rely on our intuition. That comes from our experience in covering politics and knowing how to weigh trends and numbers. My intuition is screaming that Trump is going to win." So here you've got a liberal saying this. He said, and he's responding to his own post. You see it here. So this is the initial post. "I think Trump is going to retake the lead. Kamala started playing prevent defense with too small a lead." And then he says, just 4 days later, Trump has definitively taken the lead. When asked about how she would be different than Biden, Harris said she would do the same things. Terrible answer. Yeah, so it's not only conservatives like me who thought that was just a horrific answer. Here you've got the Young Turks saying the same thing. When asked what she would do in the White House, she said she's not Trump. Terrible answer. Big trouble ahead. So it's not just, closed circuit here to Axios. It's not just conservatives who are saying some of this stuff. It's liberals as well who are seeing the train wreck. Okay, I want to come back to this story. I didn't spend a lot of time on it on the air this morning. I did mention it, but this is Jon Stewart is reacting to Tony Hinchcliffe. And you can see in the comment here, Jon Stewart admitting that he finds Tony Hinchcliffe funny. I want you to listen to this because now the first portion of the video is media reports. This is our legacy media reports. And it's just absolutely jaw-dropping the way these folks are responding to Tony Hinchcliffe. And Stewart laughing throughout.
The alarms.
The opening act, grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons. A comedian who offered unfunny, racist, jokes,
basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
The most repulsive, and what?
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Extremely vile so-called jokes. She name-checked my comedy album from the 90s.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because Stewart goes on and he talking about Hinchcliffe.
By the campaign politically. But to be fair, the guy's really just doing what he does. I mean, here he is at the Tom Brady roast a few months ago.
The great Jeff Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff is so Jewish, he only watches football for the coin toss. Gronk, you look like the Nazi that kept burning himself on the ovens. Kevin is so small that when his ancestors picked cotton, they called
So
it
this is the
deadlifting.
guy.
Yes, of course. Terrible. Boo. Yes.
As he's laughing.
There's something wrong with me. I find that guy very funny. So I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
So,
I mean, bringing him to a rally and have him not do roast jokes, that'd be like bringing Beyonce to a rally and not have. Oh.
So he's referring to the Kamala Harris bringing Beyonce to the rally, and Beyonce didn't sing. So Jon Stewart's laughing. The legacy media, they're the ones that are having the meltdown, which is why the video that he showed was just absolutely awesome. It's incredible. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I want to thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate the interaction with you and your comments very much. If you'll do me an additional favor and hit the like button, let a friend know if you got a like-minded friend. Like-minded friends. I'm looking for like-minded people to grow our audience here. So it's so great. And the more of you who are on the stream and commenting, it just makes it, I got to believe it's more entertaining for you, and it's more fun for me to see the comments that you're leaving. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope to see you again tomorrow. We'll leave it there for today. Have a great Tuesday. See you again soon.